Franklin is een klein stadje en het ligt ver weg van alles. Een betrekkelijk willekeurige provincieplaats, ongeveer zo groot of zo klein als Meppel of Winterswijk. Maar net zo Amerikaans als New York, of San Francisco, of Nashville, of Saigon. En alles wat er in Amerika gebeurt, gebeurt ook een beetje in Franklin, Tennessee. Alles wat er in Amerika gebeurt, is hier zo schilderachtig, zo aangenaam van formaat, zo hanteerbaar, dat het er net zo goed niet zou kunnen zijn. Zo lijkt het. En zo lijkt het na een tijdje nog. Maar anders. Twee weken is te kort natuurlijk, maar net genoeg om te zien waar alles in een klein stadje als dit op zijn plaats staat. Waar het verschuift. En waar het misschien wankelt. Zoals er soms iets niet helemaal klopt op een aanzichtkaart. Het is maandagmorgen en dit hier is de Kamer van Koophandel.
Good morning. W.C. Yates, Secretary of Chamber of Commerce, Franklin, Tennessee. We're happy to have you to take a little walk with us. Come and we'll show you around our fair little town. Follow me.
Naast de Kamer van Koophandel ligt het raadhuis.
I'll take you into the city hall. Meet the mayor.
Maar die is er nog niet.
Morning, Mr. Yates.
Mr. Liggett.
How are you this morning?
Mayor in this morning?
No, he hadn't come down yet. It's kind of unusual. He's usually here about 8:30, but he hasn't come in
What
yet.
time will he be here?
Should be here by 10:30. Why don't you
Well, sorry I missed him. Tell him I'll be back. See him
Fine.
tomorrow.
Why don't you drop back by and
Thank
see
you,
him?
sir.
Nice to
Thank
see
you, sir.
All right.
Meneer Yates kent vrijwel iedere blanke inwoner van Franklin, omdat hij vroeger hoofd van de school was. En vrijwel iedere blanke inwoner kent de burgemeester, omdat hij in Franklin de enige blanke loodgieter is.
Good to see you. Hello, Mayor. Come in. Good to see you. Fine. How you getting along? Just came by to see you and missed you up there a while ago.
See you, yes,
But
sir.
Mr. Liggett told me that you weren't in, and
A little late this morning.
Fine, fine. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, sir.
What you doing at your business this morning?
Well, I have plenty to do.
Fine.
sir.
Well, I tell you, we hope to be back to see you a little later.
Okay, Mr.
Got
Yates.
to move on down the street now. Take a little trip of the town.
You're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
Franklin heeft net zoveel meegemaakt als Amerika. Maar onopgemerkt en vanzelfsprekend. Een stuk of 5 jongens uit Franklin zitten in Vietnam. Er zijn er 3 gesneuveld. En er zijn net 4 veteranen uit Saigon terug.
I'd like to pause just a minute to point out to you the old church, old Episcopal Church, which is the first church east of the Mississippi, formed in America. And it was during the Civil War between the states. This church was used as a hospital for the wounded and the crippled soldiers. Many other churches are scattered through the town.
Alles wat een mens van Amerika weet, heeft hier in Franklin zijn eigen gestalte. Maar je herkent het wel. De geluiden, de muziek, de boeken, beelden uit films, de welvaart.
Hi, Mr. Hardcastle. How you getting along? Fine. You okay?
Just fine. How's everything going in the chamber?
Just fine, fine. I'm happy to say that this gentleman has represented the Chamber of Commerce as president for 2 years in succession. Done a wonderful job. He's also a fine all-around citizen and a good businessman.
Well, that's a mighty nice thing to say.
How is
appreciate
business?
that. It's just fine, Mr. Yates.
Selling those
sir.
Dodge and Chryslers?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Everything's going well.
Good to see you.
Good to
Best
see you.
of luck.
Come see us, Mr.
Bye.
Okay.
De vriendelijke zelfverzekerdheid waaraan niet wordt getornd. Het lef waarmee Amerika aanwezig is in de wereld.
Move cinemas are perhaps the same all over the world, but I'll pause just a minute to point out that our next attraction will be General Patton, the famous soldier of World War II.
Dat lef wordt ook een beetje weerspiegeld in Franklin. Zo goed als Franklin ook een beetje aanwezig is in de wereld.
This is our county courthouse. In Tennessee, we have the county form of government as well as the city government. You met Mayor Woodard, who is the mayor of the city of Franklin, in the city hall. This is the county courthouse where the county business is transacted.
Iemand die dienst wil nemen in het Amerikaanse leger kan terecht in het gerechtsgebouw, waar de officiële identiteit van Franklin huist. Want daar gebeurt wat de mensen echt interesseert.
WAGG local news at 2. And now, here with a report on today's court action is WAGG News Director Ralph Dawson.
John Henry King is on trial in Franklin for killing Mangrum. Denton King testified that the two men argued because Mangrum said somebody stole $2 from him. The Kingfield resident said the two men went outside, 3 shots were fired, and Mangrum fell dead in the yard. Another man was wounded by the gunfire. 3 other witnesses told similar stories about the shooting. Testimony is continuing in the trial, which is expected to be completed tonight. Ralph Dawson at the Williamson County Courthouse.
We'll have more local news for you after this from Greg Rock. Keep your wardrobe looking fresh and new with professional dry cleaning service and 1-hour martinizing on Main Street in Franklin.
Franklin is een klein stadje en het ligt ver weg van alles. Maar iedereen die er woont kan weten wat er overal gebeurt. Er is radio en televisie en van alles te koop.
Narcotics Bureau Chief John Ingersoll has mentioned 2 U.S. allies, Turkey and Thailand, as among the major sources of illegal drugs in the United States.
I am Paul Pig.
I'm Bill Peach.
We sell men's ready-to-wear clothing. Our clothing lines consist of Hartshefn and Marks, which is made in Chicago. We have Botany 500, which is made in Philadelphia.
We also carry a complete selection of furniture.
Wat een beetje vreemd is aan Franklin op zo'n eerste dag, er is geen neger te zien. Dat komt, zegt meneer Yates, omdat hij ergens anders boodschappen doet.
My name is Alan Brown, and this is Brown Sporting Goods, and I sell sporting goods and guns and ammunition. The major part of my sales are guns and ammunition.
Copy of the Review-Appeal, our weekly newspaper, the oldest weekly newspaper in the state of Tennessee. We invite you to come in.
I'm Derry Carlisle with the Review-Appeal newspaper in Franklin, a reporter. In this week's issue, we have an article about 4 drug cases. There were 4 young men who were caught with marijuana and charged with possession or with possibly not necessarily with possession on all of them, but with having taken more of the pills that of diet pills than the prescription prescribed. We have an ad from a Big Star supermarket. One of the specials of this ad is for hams at 39 cents a pound and for pork chops at 59 cents a pound. This is not the best cut of pork chops at that price. We have an ad from a beauty shop advertising a springtime special at $15 a permanent. This beauty shop has just installed an automatic shampoo machine, something new.
Mrs.
for
Carlyle, should you consider Franklin as a conservative community?
Yes, I believe you would consider Franklin a largely a conservative community. There are liberal elements. Perhaps it is a good combination of both.
Mm-hmm. How's the relationship between black and white people here in this community?
The relationship between the white people and the black people in our community is good. It has always been good. We have been very fortunate in not having the riots that other communities have had.
Do the people of Franklin think that America has a mission in the world?
Yes, I think they do. That is hard to explain. Of course, we feel that our life is a good life, and we would like for all of the people of the world to have a good life as ours is. I'm aware that our economic situation is better than others, but we would hope that the economic situation in other countries could be improved, and if our influence, both politically and economically, could aid other countries, we would like it to be so.
This is CBS.
Where do they go from here? Where do they go from here? The veterans who have done 1,000 different jobs all over the world. Where do they go with their experience and maturity and ability and ambition? Or the disabled veterans who have patiently acquired new skills? Home first. Home to hugs and handshakes. Home to the family. But what then? Even with the GI Bill to back him up with training and education, what does the veteran do after he hangs up his uniform? Where does he go from here? To work or to waste? Now it's up to you. To hire a veteran, see your local state employment service office. Contact Veterans Administration offices for on-the-job training information. Don't forget, hire the vet.
Dit is een foto van de jongens en meisjes die in 1966 eindexamen deden op de Public High School in Franklin. U zag er geen zwarte kinderen bij, omdat die toen nog hun eigen school hadden. Inmiddels is deze middelbare school, net als alle andere in Amerika, geïntegreerd. Dat wil zeggen, er mag bij kracht van wet geen onderscheid meer worden gemaakt tussen blanke en zwarte leerlingen. Maar dat is hier niet zozeer het probleem. Het parkeren van de auto is veel moeilijker.
I'm D.W. Sanders, principal of Franklin High School, Franklin, Tennessee. We have a student body here of almost 1,500. made up of the 9th through 12th grades. We try to operate as a comprehensive high school. That is, we cover not only academics, but we cover also the vocational area. Biggest portion of our children are transported to school by public conveyance known as buses. Other percent drive their own private cars. A car to be driven to school, in my estimation, is basically a prestige symbol rather than a means of transportation, because transportation is furnished by public funds.
Mr. Sanders, there's a lot to do about the generation gap. Do you think the conflict between generations is worse now, comparing to, well, perhaps your own youth?
I have a tendency to believe perhaps they're a little bit worse than they were when we came along, for the simple reason that we usually worked along the side of our parents. Today, the parent doesn't quite have that opportunity because his work has changed so, and we have so many youngsters growing up without really knowing the job that their parents do, and consequently not being as close to their parents. Perhaps the great desire of the parent to gain material to give to his child, that which he did not have, has had a great deal to do with it.
Dit herkent een mens van Amerika. Cowboys. Uit films, uit boeken, uit liedjes. En dat is waar ook. Dit landelijke leven vormt de belangrijkste bron van inkomsten van Franklin. Niet de koeien, maar de liedjes die volgens de overlevering door cowboys werden gezongen. En vooral het keiharde sentiment van die muziek zijn tegenwoordig goud waard. Het is een ongenaakbaar soort muziek. Even vitaal als de mensen die het spelen en even hard. Zeer vrolijk, zeer sentimenteel en zeer authentiek. Country en Western Sound staat voor een andere industrie die miljoenen dollars per jaar meer opbrengt dan het drijven van vee naar een goede wei of naar het slachthuis. Daarvan klinkt de country en western muziek niet zozeer vrolijker dan wel vlotter en niet kapot te krijgen.
One, two.
Franklin heeft 2 radiostations. Beide even populair. Beide gedreven door een man of 5. Dit is het andere station.
This is WIZO in Franklin, Tennessee. Time now, 3 o'clock. Time for award-winning news with news director Charles Gibral.
Ongeveer de helft van de zendtijd is gewijd aan reclameboodschappen, waarop stations als deze drijven.
Full-time, full-service AM/FM broadcaster. It's WIZO, award-winning news.
WIZO Radio is a typical small market radio station. We have an AM and an FM facility. Now, in this room here, we're operating our AM radio station, which is licensed by the federal government to operate from sunup until sundown, meaning it must go off the air at dusk, which during this period of our year is 8 p.m. local time. Now, in the other room, to my left, we are operating our FM facility. You can see the operator as he is preparing his next commercial announcements. This station operates an unlimited schedule. Both of the stations are owned by our corporation, but we compete with each other for advertising revenues. So we're programming American pop music, easy listening music. Some people would call it background music, music that's pleasant to the ear. And we're limiting our commercial content on FM. And this station here is playing what we in America call modern country music. It is a very happy sound of music. This is a bit heavier on FM. We promote the Red Cross, such international organizations. We actually promote recruiting services into our armed forces. All of this is done at no charge under the heading of public service, and we try to program at least 2 such ads in each hour on each station here.
Do you have any political opinion?
Yes, we do have political opinion, and we are free as broadcasters to exert those opinions under the heading of editorials. And this station, by its managerial policy, has never taken an editorial stand. However, it's very commonly done, and in fact, it is encouraged by our government. The only requirement is, of course, is that we offer free and equal time for anyone who might oppose our opinions. So, to avoid having to offer free and equal time, the best thing is not to have an opinion.
30 seconden zendtijd kost $2, 1 minuut zendtijd kost $5. Elke commercial wordt minstens 5 maal per dag uitgezonden. Elke seconde kost geld. Er zijn country- en western liedjes die echt over iets gaan.
This is a true story about a good man and his woman. He was my neighbor for 2 years. There's a countryman back in the hills, his name is Willie York. He's 58, his back still straight, he lives on the Big East Fork. He knew the kind of freedom in his young life long ago. The kind you can't have today no matter where you go. And he don't realize that the world around him's changed. So he tries to live the way he did, but his trying's all in vain. His thinking, it ain't just like yours, but that don't mean it's wrong. Willie's drunk and Nellie's dying, Nellie's almost gone. Willie's drunk and Nellie's dying, you ought to see her life. It's all been wrong, it's almost gone, it's been nothing but a fight. 5 little boys and 4 little girls, what will their future be? Oh, Willie's drunk and Nellie's dying, there ain't nobody free.
Go ahead and blow it. I can.
Down in a holler in a shade where the sun don't ever shine. Willie and his brother, they were making good moonshine. They spent 13 and a half years in a Nashville prison cell for killing the deputy sheriff in the Williamson County Jail.
Willie York. Zijn vitaliteit heeft tot zowat niets geleid, maar hij bestaat wel erg.
His kids and mine, they play together down along the creek. Some say men like Willie.
But it ain't about one thing to tell about it.
But let me tell you,
And
Mr. Willie's done the best.
I just got in trouble with a constable in Franklin, Tennessee. And I shot him and killed him.
And what happened then?
Huh?
What happened then?
Well, they picked me up on the highway. Bell Me patrolmen in Nashville. They carried me to a theater out on 8th Avenue, South Nashville. They called us State Highway Patrolmen. They came on out there. And they asked me for identification, which I gave them. And they asked me, he said, you the guys that killed that old man out there on the road. I said, if there's one dead out there, I'm one killed him. Well, he said, he's dead. And so they said, you know who he was? I said, no, I don't know who he was. They said he was a deputy sheriff for Williamson County, which his name is Clarence Reed. And they asked me, he said, how come you leave the scene of the crime? I said, well, I'll tell you, fella. I said, I was out there where it happened. I didn't have any protection, whatever. But I done used up all the shield it was. And I said I didn't want to stay out there, which I think some of his people or someone could come by and shoot me or kill me right there, see. And I said the best thing the only thing I could think about was getting on away from it and trying to get home, see. where my wife and kids were, and call in and give myself up. But I didn't get there. See, these Bellmead patrolmen picked me up. And so they brought me on back to Wickham County Jail here in Franklin and locked me up.
And then you were trialed, isn't it?
Yeah. We had a trial, which had tried me for premeditated manslaughter. And I was trying to get self-defense, see, which I figured it was. It was either me or him, see, and I'd rather for it to be him as to be me anytime. But they got first-degree murder against us. Judge Smith was a judge in Franklin at that time. And the jury found us guilty in first degree and give us the least sentence they could, which was 20 years and a day, see. And therefore I went out of prison. I served out that 20 years and a day and come home.
What happened to your wife, Nellie, when you were in prison?
Well, she got a job and went to work. She done the best she could for the kids, to raise them and take care of them. I have 3 of my own, which she done the best, send them to school, clothe them and everything, hoping that I'll get out soon. Which I didn't. And naturally, as any other woman would do, she married again to get someone to help her take care of the kids. So she lived with him until I come out of prison. And when I got out of prison, I got a phone call, which was from Nellie. So I answered. She wanted to know why. What gonna do? So, naturally I told her. And she accepted the situation that I told her. So I drove over to her house and got her and the kids. And I moved down the country out here. Rented my house and moved down the country. I went to work at a sheet metal shop, making $60-65 a week. I paid for her divorce, and me and her married again. And so I've been with her and the kids ever since.
Willie York's a man who lives in a time that he don't fit. In youth he lived the free life that our times will not permit. And there's thousands more just like him from the mountains to the plains. They need help because they don't know how to change. If a buck or two you'd like to send to a good man who's in need, send to Willie York, Big East Fork, Franklin, Tennessee. Oh, Willie's drunk and Nellie's dying, there ain't nobody free. Willie's drunk and Nellie's dying, there ain't nobody free.
Een warme dag.
Hello. You all right?
Yes.
Huh?
In good shape.
Good shape. You hadn't slept long enough yet.
Who?
You.
I'm in good shape.
Now, you lay down there and sleep a little longer. You still drunk now.
Well,
here, you lay down.
I can read as good as you can.
I know you can read, but you go ahead and lay down and go back to sleep.
I write better than you can.
You imagine you can.
I bet you I got a better handwriting.
Imagine you have, though.
And you sound drunk. And you the highway patrolman.
No, I'm not the highway patrol. I'm the police.
You good one too. You.
Yeah, I know. You a good man.
I read in the paper. I seen your picture in the paper.
You a good man too. You got a wine on.
I'm just black and I'm not white.
I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got a Chinaman chance.
Yeah, that ain't so. You know better than that. We put them old white drunks in there just like we do them black ones, don't we? You been in there and had some of them old white ones in there?
You know this one, dude. You seen you put them good police off me, didn't you?
Value that thing. That's not counting.
Whose house?
Vandaag zei iemand, hier in Franklin radicale ideeën hebben is tegelijkertijd het makkelijkste en het moeilijkste wat er bestaat. Ten eerste, waarom zou je? De negers wonen helemaal achter de gasfabriek. En ten tweede, iedereen is het wel ongeveer met je eens als je maar met 2 woorden spreekt. En ergens anders woont.
Ah, she didn't get away address. She just said Pearl Jackson Station R.
That's number 1. Who's next? See, the chief's doing all right. All right! Butchie's getting martyred. Excuse me, sir. That's better. Thanks for the cooperation. What?
Dit is Achter de Gasfabriek. En ook hier is Franklin een hecht bolwerk. Of tenminste, zo lijkt het.
I don't know, it's just hard to put it in words. I mean, we're really proud of the way the relationship is here. But, of course, a lot of times we might have to come up here and break up a fight. This building here on the left we just passed, it's a black nightclub, and of course they, just like the white people, they get drunk and get to fighting among themselves sometime, and we have to go up here and break that up, maybe make an arrest. Sometimes the arrest has to be made. Sometimes we can quieten the problem down, there's no arrest made, and everything just works out good.
You don't have any white or black radicals here in your community?
At one time we did. We had one or two that they thought they were radicals. They weren't as bad as they thought they were. I mean, they weren't as radical as they thought they were. They'd more or less seen it on TV or heard about it, and I don't know, it kind of died down. Of course, there's still some that'll holler, "Hey, pig," or something like that. Of course, you kind of get used to being called a pig. It doesn't hit me.
It's pretty quiet now, isn't it?
Yes. Well, the stores, business places start closing up. Well, they close up about 5:30, and once the businesses close up, there's very little traffic as far as downtown goes. I mean, there's people passing through, but there's very few parked around on the streets. As you can tell, the time we've been riding, we hadn't had any calls, so that kind of gives you some idea about how quiet it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's a perfect town and nobody does anything wrong, but it's just, we're really not real busy. I mean, like I said.
Car 24, car 15.
Channel 4, Nashville, Tennessee.
I guess I must. I've been in for 25 years now.
Are you happy here in Franklin?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Been here all my life, except from the time when I was in the service.
If you could change something here in Franklin, what should it be?
Well, a number of things, but I couldn't point out one.
Well, just name a few then.
You have a praying mother. Now, the mothers that are listening, if you're not a praying mother, you'll become one.
Deze zondag wordt het 100-jarig bestaan gevierd van de Methodistenkerk van Franklin. Er zijn geen negers bij. Zij hebben zich bij het 98-jarig bestaan afgescheiden met de belofte dat ze zich later in de hemel wel weer bij de uitverkorenen zullen scharen. Zij hebben geen feestje, want ze bestaan pas 2 jaar.
Among the Franklin people about the war in Vietnam is more personal rather than it has not reached a movement stage, so to speak. People here are very patriotic and more or less uphold the views of Nixon, the president, that perhaps our war in Vietnam is justified and that we should remain there until our mission has been accomplished. It's good. These Methodists take good pictures.
That you and I as Christians are looking forward to. A time when families will be reunited again. A time when mothers and dads, boys and girls, aunts and uncles and so on will be gathered together in a place called heaven. I'll be there.
Dit is de grootste fabriek van Franklin. Er worden cowboylaarzen gemaakt. Door honderden vrouwen die nauwelijks met elkaar praten omdat het loon per afgeleverd exemplaar wordt berekend. Wie praat, houdt de productie op. En wie de productie ophoudt, heeft al bijna iets van ieders loon gestolen. De integratie in Franklin heet geslaagd. Negers uit Franklin zijn in Vietnam en in de fabriek werken blanke vrouwen samen met zwarte vrouwen om de eindjes aan elkaar te knopen. Maar net als overal elders in Amerika loopt er natuurlijk ook door Franklin een lont. Franklin is een klein stadje en het ligt ver weg van alles. Diep in het zuiden. Doodstil. En op die lont na vrijwel onberoerd. How should you describe the racial situation here in Franklin, Tennessee?
Well, it's neither all bad nor all good. It's better than it was. A good many of the white people have accepted integration, but not in good faith.
Why did they accept it?
Well, it was easier to accept than to fight. proprietors of stores control this to a good bit. Restaurants and taverns, they admit black customers. They serve them. But there is an air of reluctance. If a white man looks a white man in the eye, his expressions to fit what he thinks is the attitude of the man he's talking to. But when he looks that black man in the eye and speaks, he better be telling his near his true feelings, the feelings that he's prepared to live with this black man. If you believe a basic truth that all men should be created equal, then if you start with that belief and you're willing to accept this as one of your tenets, then you've got to do, if you're a Southerner, you've got to do a lot of rethinking on a lot of things that you have contributed to. And it's not easy, and it's not pleasant. For two reasons. It's terribly hard for a man to admit even to himself that, I've been wrong all these years. I have been living a lie. And then if he reaches this decision, and if he can muster up the courage to express his new thoughts on this thing, he finds immediate oppositions from his closest friends and associates. And this is makes it hard. It would be so much easier to say, well, I'll examine that problem tomorrow, but tonight,
I've really been the best of food. I did what I could again. Because I love you, baby, how I love you, darling, how I love you, baby, how I love you, little girl. Baby, since I've been loving you, yeah. I'm about to lose my world,
De tweede grote industrie van Franklin maakt pakpapier. Zachte frutsels met strikken en bloemen en in oogverblindende kleuren die in heel Amerika te koop zijn om van alles mooi in te pakken.
Sometimes it seems as if America was ordering up products faster than manufacturers could serve them. We're trying to do things the way you'd like.
Heritage Foundation of Franklin all about?
The Heritage Foundation is based on the premise that we'd like to move forward, progress economically, but we'd like to build the forward progress on the traditions of the past. And it is a part of our background and a part of our heritage. That's what we work toward.
Het jaarlijkse feestje van de Heritage Foundation, die nu meer dan ooit een reden van bestaan lijkt te hebben. Maar onheilspellender dan onze gastvrouw bedoelde. Want zo ver weg kan Franklin niet meer zijn.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been made to believe that Franklin